Thinking back, what was the highlight of last week's episode? You know, to compare this week to. Yeah, that will be hard to top. You have my attention. Hit the button. Let's get started. Hi there, ho there, Andrew here, the horror host of Generations X, Y, and Z inside Davis Manor, talking about Walker Wednesdays with worth, not self-worth. I'm talking about the title of episode 15 of season 8's The Walking Dead. And woo, this one. So apparently, the all-out war is going to happen all in one episode. Not this episode, mind you. It will have to be the next one. So, with this episode, there are some ups. And there are some downs, much along the lines of Aaron in this episode. And if you have no idea what I am talking about right now, believe me, when we get there, you will appreciate the production value that I have put in. But first, let's talk about the patrons of the channel. If you are a fan of the channel and want to support it and see this continue, or if you want to have better access to yours truly via chats, emails, and such, or maybe you have some great ideas and want to be part of the show, all you have to do is click the link above, check out the Patreon page, just like these great people. And on that page, woo, the rain is coming down right now. On that page, you're going to see the goals that we are trying to achieve and the rewards that you can get by becoming a patron. Heck, you could even reach immortality by selecting the right tier, and I will create a character based off of your likeness for a future project. But for now, let's get into this week's episode. The first 5 minutes of the show is us watching Rick read Carl's letter to him with Chandler Riggs doing the voiceover. It was nice to have Carl back for an episode, even though it was only as a voiceover, but everything ends with Michonne picking up Negan's letter from Carl, and then we go to the credits. And by the way, you ever notice when they get to Scott Gimple's name, it shows a map burning? Kind of makes me think that even the people behind the scenes know that Gimple is actively trying to destroy the world of The Walking Dead. Back from a commercial break, we see Gregory show a little chutzpah to Simon.
Hey, you think you have the juice? Well, I am the juice.
Wow, somebody must be watching Breaking Bad. Then we see the Oceanside ladies, and seriously, that does sound like a bowling team. And apparently Aaron has been wandering around outside in the forest trying to convince them to join the fight against Negan, and then he falls down. I have heard of people sitting down on the job, but Ross Marquand, I think that's how you say his name, the actor that plays Aaron, he is not sitting down on the job at all in this episode. In fact, he is laying down in this episode. A lot. Like all. The whole way through. I will prove it in a bit. Just remember, this was the first time we saw him drop. And after Eugene shares some college memories of eating sardine, macaroni, and cheese with garlic to the bullet makers, Father Gabriel starts to cry. Either it's because he doesn't want to see any more death, or because he just realized that's what everybody's about to eat. Then we see Eugene get kidnapped by Daryl and Rosita. I thought they were going to kill the guy. We then see Dwight gets spooked out by Negan, who shows up, and after a commercial break, Negan is back at Command Center, with Simon saying that he messed up, and Negan forgives everybody. And that is completely asinine, or astute. Either way, there's an ass somewhere in there, and we're gonna find out. After Negan forgives his top 2 lieutenants that are secretly looking to take him out, Negan shares his plans on how to pin down Hilltop. Then going to the trio of Daryl, Eugene, Rosita, which I will now refer to them by their initials of DAR. We find out in subtle fashion that Eugene is trying to apologize to Rosita by saying that he was offering his life for hers when they took him to the sanctuary and he thought that he was a goner, but she uses this time to go ahead and berate him. And I have to say that Josh McDermott, who plays Eugene, does a great job in this episode. His subtle reactions and his facial tics that he shows us how Eugene is thinking and feeling throughout the episode. he is one of the highlights of acting in this episode. Simon then goes to Dwight and convinces him to stick to the plan on taking out Negan, and we go to another commercial break. Coming back from the break comes to one of my favorite scenes, not the favorite, but one of them, where Eugene escapes by gacking up all over Rosita. Oh, that's so Eugene. Hey, it's almost 40 minutes into the show. Where's Aaron? What's he been doing lately? Oh, he's laying down again. And this scene is so crazy. I couldn't believe what I was watching. And for some reason, I had this going in on my head. So you are about to see the world that I do.
What's keeping these two guys up? A tremendous closing moment. And now, oh, with the Rocky. Wow. Here comes Balboa.
He fell down again?
They're exhausted. How they're thinking, I don't know. Get away from me. What they're getting, and I don't know. A right hand. It's Creed. Now it's Balboa. It's Creed.
He's gonna fall down again.
Tremendous left by Shimmy. They're standing dead in the center of the ring, toe to toe. I don't know why the champion is fighting
This guy isn't gonna last 10 more seconds. Find a weapon! Pick up a stick!
If neither gets up, it's a draw, and Creed will win the title automatically. The count is now going. Get up! Get on your feet! Now Balboa reaches for another. And Creed gets it. Can't get up. Balboa's trying to get up. Each fighter trying to beat the count. Now the champ is trying to get up. Balboa's straining for all his worth. The champ can't make it. He's slumping to the canvas again. He's trembling. The champ is trying and he's down.
I put that package together at 1:30 in the morning and I giggled the whole time. So getting back to the scene now, and this might be Ross Marquand's worst acting in the history of his career, and I like the guy. But Aaron tries to give a rousing speech to Moana and the rest of the Oceanside, channeling in his inner Braveheart. And then he passes out. For once, I'm happy to go to a commercial break. And back from the break, we see where Dwight offers up Simon to Negan, but instead of taking out Simon, only the other saviors are killed. And Negan then quotes Ric Flair, "To be the man, you must beat the man." Seriously, I was waiting for a woo!
And I'm saying, woo!
Thank you. So what came next is my favorite part of the episode, and that is Simon versus Negan. Fisticuffs, winner takes all.
Teacher against student, old lion against young lion.
Did we just use another Rocky reference? Honestly, I have to say, after watching this, I don't think I'm going to be as excited to see Negan and Rick go toe-to-toe. And after both men make each other bleed with some throwdown, Negan gets the upper hand and chokes Simon to death. And during the fight, Gregory skedaddles with Dwight's copy of Negan's plans so he can go to Hilltop with them. So let me get back to the death of Simon here, and this by far is the most fitting death for a character that I think is out there. I mean, I didn't want to see Simon take a bat. I would have thought that that would have been just too meh for me. I didn't want to see him get infected, you know, by rubbing the barbed wire of Lucille with Walker guts on him and him slowly turn. I didn't want to see him go down a garbage chute or anything like that. I wanted to see Simon go out the way that he was planning on going anyways. I really think it was also needed for Negan's story arc. I mean, we never got a chance to see Negan go toe-to-toe with anybody in a fight to the finish. We've seen some skirmishes, we've seen, Rick run away, we've seen Negan run away, all that stuff, but we never really saw a finished fight. So, Stephen Ogg, the guy that plays Simon, he's a big guy, he's 6'3", and Simon is a ferocious character. So, having a fight for Negan and defeating Simon gave Negan some street cred. At least the street cred that he needed for The Walking Dead. I mean, I know for a fact that if Simon and Dwight went against each other, Simon would mop the floor with Dwight. And actually, I think there's no other savior out there that would be able to defeat Simon. So it was really good to have Simon fall at the hands of Negan via fisticuffs. And we see Gregory make it back to Hilltop, and then Dwight and Negan talk about Simon, and it makes me wonder, how far is Hilltop? I mean, sure, Gregory was driving fast, but, I mean, how long was the conversation between Dwight and Negan, and how long did it take Gregory to go to Hilltop? So Negan offers his new right-hand position that is available to Dwight, and Dwight accepts, only to find out that Laura is waiting in Dwight's room. Ha ha! I called it! I knew Laura was in that car. Negan says that he isn't going to kill Dwight, but he has plans for him instead. Turn that off! So Eugene goes back to the sanctuary after escaping from Rosita and Daryl, and he gives a speech on how they're going to go ahead and deliver the war to Negan. And after Negan is overlooking Walker Simon becoming part of the sanctuary's perimeter system, we hear Michonne read to Negan Carl's letter. But it seems like it is too little too late, and Negan says that he will kill everyone. And this tells me that even though Gimple said that it was all going to be resolved by the end of the season finale, there is no way that the all-out war will end in the season finale without being a huge disappointment, even if it does continue into Fear the Walking Dead. So do you agree with me or disagree with me? Go ahead, leave a comment down below, and remember, like, share, subscribe, plus hit that bell icon so you get notified the moment I upload, and I will see you in the next video.